Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chapter 11. This is just me in my living room with my computer on my lap, so it's not going to be anything that resembles a professional recording. I've got 4 dogs with me, and they may start barking wildly at any moment. If they do, that's part of the experience, especially when you hear me yelling at them. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to break this into 2 parts. Each part will be about 20-something minutes on my part, but then on your part it will be longer because I want you to pause me frequently and kind of go back, rewind, whatever you need to do so that you understand the material. So here's sort of an order of activities. My recommendation to you, you could do this all at once. You could do it in 2 days. You could do it in 3 days, as long as you get it done by Wednesday night at midnight. That's the deadline for everything. After that, all the Kia stuff goes away. All the tests from Chapter 11 go away. So you got to get it done Wednesday night by midnight. So recommendation, you do part 11-2. Kia plus what we do in the book, and then you take test part 1 vocabulary. 11-7 Porta versus Para, test part 2. 11-10 Kia, what we do in the book on the PowerPoint, test part 3, and then you can see, of course, the subjunctive with part 4. Introducción al capítulo. Por favor, en sus libros, en la página 305. Las metas de comunicación, vamos a hablar de las profesiones, las responsabilidades en el trabajo y la búsqueda de empleo. Vamos a hacer recomendaciones e intentar influenciar a otros, expresar deseos, dudas e incertidumbre, las estructuras por versus para, el modo subjuntivo y expresiones impersonales con el subjuntivo, formación del presente subjuntivo y declaraciones de volición, deseo e intención. So in vocabulary 1, just to look at, this is obviously about profesiones, diferentes profesiones. So what I want you to do is to attempt to say the following. You should have the vocabulary for these things. And I'll go through, and then when I say you try it, pause me, try, and then turn me back on. So, a psychiatrist works with people who have mental problems. Try it. Un psiquiatra trabaja con personas que tienen problemas mentales. A beautician cuts hair. Try it. Una peluquera corta pelo. An architect draws houses. Try it. Un arquitecto dibuja casas. A banker works with money. Try it. Un banquero trabaja con dinero. A dentist works with teeth. Try it. Un dentista trabaja con dientes. A cook prepares good food. Try it. Un cocinero prepara buena comida. A carpenter repairs houses. Try it. Un carpintero repara casas. A businessman works in big companies. Try it. Un hombre de negocios trabaja en grandes compañías o compañías grandes. A lawyer works with legal matters. And matters is asuntos. Try it. Un abogado trabaja con asuntos legales. And if I'm not mistaken, there is one very, very similar to that one on the final exam. Un abogado trabaja con asuntos legales. The next one. An accountant works with numbers. Try it. Un contador trabaja con números. A teacher works with students. Try it. Un maestro trabaja con estudiantes. And you can go through looking at the other ones, and you hear the shaking in the background of my dog. Sorry about that. Just ignore it. You go through, practice the other ones because you are responsible for this vocabulary, obviously on the take-home test, but also on the final exam. Okay, 11.4. Decide sobre cada trabajo y responde según las preguntas. So what you're going to do on this one, here are the questions. ¿Te interesa? Are you interested? ¿Por qué sí? ¿Por qué no? Why yes? Why not? ¿Eres buen candidato para el puesto? Are you a good candidate for the spot? ¿Por qué sí? ¿Por qué no? Why yes? Why not? ¿Conoces a otra persona que puedes recomendar para el puesto? Do you know another person that you can recommend? Explica por qué es buen candidato. So what I'd like for you to do is pause me, go through, read each of these, and then answer, are you interested? Why not? And then I'll come back and I'll choose one to do as a model for you. So you try it, pause me now. Okay, welcome back. And I'm just going to, as an example, I'm going to do the first one for you and go through each of the questions, and hopefully that will be similar to what you did. So, se necesita ingeniero civil con mínimo de 3 años de experiencia en construcción. Debe tener carro, hablar inglés, leer planos y saber usar programas de computadora. ¿Te interesa? No, no me interesa. ¿Por qué sí o por qué no? Pues no me interesa, no soy ingeniero, tengo carro, hablo inglés, puedo usar programas de computadora, pero no soy ingeniero. Así que no soy buen candidato para el puesto. Pero sí conozco a otra persona que yo pueda recomendar. Mi sobrino es ingeniero civil. Él es un buen candidato porque él sabe mucho de ingeniería. So that's sort of what it would sound like. And you look at the other ones, contador, an accountant, empresas, working with a company, agencia, vendedor, salesperson, and of course it would have been very, very similar responses of whether you're a good candidate, etc. Okay, we're going to look now, and before we go into this one, you will have some other opportunities to work with the vocabulary in Kia. But we're going to move on now to estructura y uso uno, and we're looking at por versus para. And these are two words that typically, not always, mean for in English. A lot of times they mean for, but sometimes they're used a little bit differently, and we translate them just a little bit differently. But this is similar to ser and estar. There's uses for one or the other, and there's also similar to saber and conocer. And then maybe there's some more in there where you have two words in Spanish, and it depends upon the situation. Okay? So, the first one we're going to start with is para because it's a little bit shorter. So look with me on page 311. So I'm going to go through the book, and you'll be able to see the mnemonic device, or the little diagram that I've created for you. I tend to think in terms like this if I need to remember various characteristics about something. This may or may not help you. Don't know. Use it if it helps. If it doesn't, it's fine. And the first one is presmod. And so purpose, recipient, employment, specific time, member, opinion, or destination. And if you'll look with me now in the book, so para conveys the underlying idea of purpose, use, and destination. So recipient. Estos papeles son para el jefe. Okay? Employment. ¿Para quién trabajas ahora? For whom do you work? Specific time. ¿Para cuándo necesita el dinero? For when do you need the money, or by when? Okay. Destination, para dónde sales mañana? To where are you going? We don't even use for in that one. Purpose, ¿por qué estudias español? Why do you study Spanish? Notice that this one, when you talk about a purpose, it follows by an infinitive. So when it's purpose, as in why you're doing something, is followed by an infinitive, and that's going to contrast with por a little bit later. A member of group. Para ser un chico de 10 años, él es muy responsable. For being a 10-year-old, he's very responsible. Para ser un estudiante de nuestra clase, tú eres muy inteligente. For being a student in our class, you're really, really smart. and to show one's opinion. Para Elena, es mejor trabajar por la mañana. For Elena, it's better to work in the morning. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to practice with it, but those are uses of para. Now you'll notice that there are lots more uses of por, so we're going to switch to that slide. And again, I like mnemonic devices, stuff like that, so I invented this one. VIP Vert and then a Pug Gym, and I've even got some images down at the bottom if that helps. So value, cost, identity, purpose with a noun, on behalf of, idiomatic expressions, reason, duration, place of, unit of measurement, gratitude, general area, exchange for, and motion. And so that'll make a little bit more sense when we go through them. So if you look in the book, please. So in this case, duration of time. ¿Por cuánto tiempo viviste en Pucón? For how long did you live? So duration of time. Motion, going through. So I went through someplace. ¿Quieres caminar conmigo por la oficina para conocer a la gente? You want to walk through the office. So in this case, it's not for, but it's through. General area, perdón. Hay una fotocopiadora por aquí. This kind of means around here. In exchange for. ¿Desea cambiar esta computadora personal? Sí, por una computadora portátil, por favor. Do you want to exchange this computer? Yes, for a laptop. So in exchange for. Value or cost. ¿Cuánto pagaste por los servicios del abogado? How much did you pay for the services of the law? ¿Cuánto pagaste por la computadora? How much did you pay for the computer? Okay. In place of. Yo no sabía que trabajabas aquí, Tomás. Trabajo por Juan, que está enfermo. So he's substituting for Juan. I'm working for Juan, who is sick. So in place of. Gratitude. Gracias por tu interés. Thank you for your interest. Gracias por tu ayuda. So gratitude. Thank you for whatever. Thank you for being here. On behalf of. Hola Miguel, vengo a verte por mis hijos. I'm coming to see you on behalf of my children. So I've got something to say on their behalf. Mistaken identity. In Chile, me tomaron por canadiense. In other words, they took me for a Canadian. Unit of measurement, meaning by or per. La secretaria escribe más de 60 palabras por minuto. 60 words per minute. Reason, hombre, viniste muy tarde a la oficina. Llegué tarde por el tráfico tan tremendo. I came late because of the terrible traffic. And then the other purpose, and notice that this one is followed by a noun. Vas a la oficina por tu cheque. So in other words, if the purpose following is a noun, you're going to use por. If the purpose following is an infinitive, you're going to use para. Para for a verb, por for a noun. And then finally, idiomatic expressions, por casualidad, por eso, por Dios, por favor, por ejemplo, por supuesto. Okay, I know those will seem a little bit confusing to you. You have some opportunities to practice in Kia. We'll practice a little bit here. And then please remember there are lots of extra practice opportunities in a document in Georgia View. So let's look at 11.9 and see what we can come up with on this one. ¿Qué sabes tú de Chile? What do you know about Chile? So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to match them up, and I'll let you go through and see if you can do those. And then we're going to talk about a little bit the use of por and para to kind of give you an idea of what it feels like and sounds like. So you can kind of look at the maps of Chile. And by the way, I've never been to Chile, but I've heard that it is really, really beautiful if you can get through the earthquakes. So estudiante 1 says, ¿por cuántas regiones pueden pasear los turistas en Chile? Through how many regions can tourists pass in Chile? And of course, when you think about through, that is obviously por. So what do you think would go with that question? So read them, pause me, and then come back. And yes, the answer is B. Los visitantes pueden pasar por 6 regiones diferentes en Chile. Visitors can pass through 6 different regions in Chile. Okay, and again, passing through. Number 2, ¿para qué van los turistas al Parque Nacional Rapa Nui, Isla de Pascua, en el pequeño norte de Chile? Why, or for what reason, do the tourists go through the National Rapa Park, the Easter Island in the north of Chile? So what do you think the answer would be? Yep, it would be D. And so the first one says, for what reason, followed by a verb there. What the purpose, and D, los turistas deben visitar la isla de Pascua para ver las esculturas enormes de nombre Maui. So the tourist must visit Easter Island in order to see the enormous sculptures by the Maui name. Okay, so again, purpose for, so followed by a verb. And number 3, ¿por cuánto tiempo deben visitar los turistas Santiago and the other places that they mentioned there? So for how much time should they visit? So a duration of time, por dónde deben pasar los turistas? And you're probably narrowing it down at this point, so the answer to that one is C. Los turistas deben quedarse en Santiago y en Viña del Mar por una semana o más. Duration of time for 1 week or more. They should walk through the Forest Park and the Bellavista Barrio. So going through an area, por is also used. And then finally, ¿te gustaría pasear por el Parque Nacional? And of course, the answer to that one is A. Sí, me gustaría pasear por. Yes, I would like to walk through the south of Patagonia in order to, para, see the glaciers and the fjords and the Cordillera de Darwin. Okay, so hopefully that gives you at least an introduction to what it kind of looks like. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the last slide. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to go to vocabulary. Let's see. Can't remember where I stopped it. So just let me, if it's the last slide, I'll see you in the next one. If it's not the next slide, I'll see you in the next slide.